And on the heels of those tariffs, plus government job cuts we've been seeing, anti-Trump protests are taking place all across the country. Organizers are calling it hands off, and they say it's a stand against the administration's handling of the economy and human rights. More than 1,200 protests were scheduled nationwide, including on the National Mall in Washington. And that is where we find Christiane Cordero standing by with more. Christiane, you talked a lot about these protesters today. What message are they trying to send?
Oh, there's a lot, Phil. And, in fact, there were more than 100,000 people here on the National Mall today, according to organizers. Where we're standing right now, because this did wrap up about half an hour or so ago, we would not have been able to stand here if the protest and rally was still going on in that stage behind me. But as you mentioned, the theme is hands off. And those are the two words that really resonated with people here. And one thing that's unique about this rally, as opposed to others that I've been to anyways, is that you kind of do have a springboard of different kinds of issues that people have latched onto from there. It's not just one thing that they're saying, but there also is that one thing, right, of this idea that, they believe that there's this government overreach happening right now. But we saw signs about hands off our bodies, hands off our schools, hands off our social security, and just capturing a little bit of the nuance and the texture of the people who were out here. They feel like that their lives are affected, and then here in D.C. specifically, that their jobs and their communities are affected. It's not just the cuts to the federal workforce, Phil. There's a lot of contractors as well that partner with the federal government, and that's been affected too. So it's something happening on a very local level. And then, of course, as we've seen this happen across the country today, you see it's deeply resonating.
What kind of things were you hearing from protesters about the economy specifically after the tariff announcements?
Yeah, so the tariffs are really impacting people on different levels, and so it depends on who you ask, right? So there was this family that I just spoke with, and they're worried about the costs going up, because if inflation continues to rise after it cooling for quite a bit, then they're worried about the potential for them not to be able to pay childcare, things like that. One of them told me that they actually stopped contributing to their 401k because they feel like their budget has already been strained. And then you have people in this demographic, right, the age demographic, that economists have said that this affects maybe most immediately because they don't have the time to wait, that the Trump administration has said, just be patient, right? This is going to be good for our economy in the long run. If you're trying to retire right now, then perhaps you don't have that luxury. And that was the message that we heard from a lot of the people who are in and around retirement age and trying to make that happen. There was one couple that really stood out to us. The husband had just retired. He's really worried about his Social Security going away. And the wife is trying to retire. But the tariffs announcement is adding a little bit of a wrinkle to that. Take a listen.
I don't sleep well. I'm scared. I'm scared that the money that we've saved all of our lives for retirement is not going to be there.
Yeah, so it really just depends who you ask, Phil. But there is one thing that everyone here was motivated by, and that was the message to send, not just to the Trump administration, but also to Democrats on Capitol Hill. And so there is this sense that something needs to be done, and we'll see where it goes from here.
All right, Christiane Cordero on the National Mall. Thanks so much.